Shelby Bonnie, and I'm the host of the Innovator Series, brought to you by Technology for Obama. And I'm here with Aaron Levie, who is the co-founder and CEO of Box. Pleasure to be with you.
Good to have you.
So Box is one of the
Box, yeah.
Well, Box is one of the great success stories in this area. I mean, you know, from kind of nowhere in 2005 to over 500 employees, raised over $200 million. I mean, it's been fantastic to watch. I want to talk a little bit about innovation. I think you've been one of kind of the real minds on innovation in this area. I think for a lot of people watching, I mean, they're curious, like, you know, how innovation happens. Was it a flash of inspiration, or is it other things that kind of make it work?
Yeah, I think Box was probably the 20th thing that I've tried to start, and so it just happens to be that this one kind of caught the market at the right time, and the right opportunity existed. If I look back at all of the other attempts of trying to build technology and build new kinds of companies, it's usually about trying to take a look at what are the problems in the world that exist, and what about the world is changing that support a new way of doing things. And in the case of Box, what we realized was we could actually go build a product for letting businesses and individuals share and manage their data at a way lower cost and with kind of much better performance than was ever previously before possible. And so you kind of take a bunch of these kind of ideas, you look at the market, and you realize that, hey, there's a massive gap in what exists today, and then you go address that. And we were just fortunate that Box kind of fit the market at the right time, and we had a different and innovative enough solution to address those problems.
And knowing that there were a lot of companies that care about the same issue, what do you think you saw differently? I mean, I think for a lot of people are like, how could a couple guys in college sitting in their dorm room have the perspective to be able to do something like that?
Well, the interesting thing is when you're a really big company, you tend to get very wedded to how things exist today. In fact, a lot of times big companies kind of hold back the world from progress and innovation because they don't have a lot of incentive in all cases to go change the way things are working. Apple is probably an extreme exception to this kind of mindset where they kept adding completely new categories and products to the world that we all now benefit from. But if you're a big company, you're actually, in a lot of ways, you're motivated and incentivized to maintain the status quo because that's where your profit pool is, and that's where your innovation has already gone toward. Whereas when you're in college and doing nothing else with your time, maybe going to class occasionally, all you have is the ability to go change and create new things. And so you have kind of tremendous upside to go innovate and build something new. And that's what startups really always have as their advantage is they're not encumbered by the past. They're not held back because of anything in their legacy business, and they can go build something completely for the future. And so it often means that startups have a really an unfair advantage in marketplaces.
So when you go, I'm sure you talk to a lot of college kids. What do you tell, but a bunch of people, in the audience look at you and say, I want to be that. What do you give people in terms of advice?
Stay in school because it's actually really important that actually the cool thing about college is it gives you this great opportunity to both be learning on one hand and all the benefits of sort of the academic institution with also a lot of extra time to be able to go out and try new things and build products, and particularly in the technology space, it affords you that ability. So I think college and those 4 years is a great time to be maximizing both what you learn and also what you can go out and do, and it gives you a great environment to do that. But ultimately, I think the key is in particularly defining a career, creating a company, choosing where you want to be in what industry. It's so amazing that we have the ability to go out and do things that we can be passionate about and that we can actually take control of. And I think anybody who's college age or younger needs to realize they have that opportunity, and they can actually go and define what they want their future to look like and world to look like.
Yeah, well, that's a great note to end on. So, Aaron, it's a pleasure talking to you. We look forward to talking to you more. So, thank you.